All right, so I was doing a little digging in my sneaker collection and I determined that I don't really have a whole lot of all white sneakers. You guys know my style. If you're subscribed here, you know what I'm into. I like white sneakers, but with a little bit of color. So what I did was go into my collection of a lot of pairs and try to find all white shoes. And this is a precursor before the summer video. Like, hey, here's the best 5 all white sneakers that you can buy right now. I thought before I did that, let me go in the archives. Let me dig in the crates and see what I can come up with. I do have a couple new pickups, but this should be good. So let's dive into it. Let's start off with a pair of Jordan 4s. These are from 2017. We've got the Air Jordan 4 Pure Money. Now, what I really like about these, and for one, you could say that these are not a all white sneaker because they've got a little bit of metallic silver on there, but it's almost more like hardware. I love how the back tab here says Pure Money. My favorite part about these is how they've aged over the years. That netting has turned yellow and it says that these are old. I always like the character when retros age, you know, because we're just used to walking into the store and seeing them sparkling new. So I always get compliments on these, and the fit, I think, was better with this shoe than it was with the military 4s, which has been a whole little bit of a saga, but the toe box is slightly wider. As you can see, it creases there. So it's kind of a telltale sign that the toe box is wider when you get a nice crease going on there. So a good one right here, and obviously them being 7 years old, you're not really gonna be able to go out and find them unless you grab a pair off StockX. If the prices are reasonable, I'll link them for you guys down in the description, but if they're like $700, miss me with that. Now, getting into a newer pickup, and you know, sometimes when a brand tries to make a shoe look aged, it doesn't always work out, but sometimes they do a really good job, and Jordan Brand definitely did their thing with these Craft Jordan 3s. It's funny because I feel like this shoe is gonna play out just like this one did. These didn't sell out, I don't remember. I feel like these didn't sell out right away. Like you could easily get them, and same deal with this shoe right here, but it feels like as soon as they're gone, all of a sudden people want them again. They'll be linked for you guys down in the description, and I find Jordan 3s a hell of a lot more comfortable than Jordan 4s. Now, getting into one of the most popular shoes of all time, a fan favorite for decades. I try my best not to feature this exact sneaker in this colorway because it's so easy. It's such easy content. People show you this shoe, they say it's affordable, you can wear it with everything. You know the message, but with all that said, it's a must. And this particular pair is not what you think. So we've got the all white Air Force Ones, and this is truly a triple white. Answer this question in your head. How old do you think this pair of Air Force Ones is? Do you think I just went into Foot Locker and grabbed a pair? Do you think I snagged a pair once Nike said that they were gonna make less? I will give you a hint because not many Air Force Ones come with this anymore. This pair is from 2008. At the time, this was the updated fit because if you've ever noticed on your Air Force One box, it says 07 on pretty much all of the pairs, and that means that they updated the fit in 07. These being from 2008, they're part of that. And before I comment on the color, let me just comment on the shape real quick, because over the years, as you know, with a lot of Jordans and a lot of models, Nike tweaks the shape for whatever reason, and for better or for worse. We sometimes get a pair in like, what happened? You gotta give props to consistency when it's out there, because this pair from 2008 is spot on with this pair that I picked up recently. The shape is really similar. Obviously this pair has a little bit of a moss green going on, but I was surprised. There's a few minor differences, but for the most part, they look like you know, if I walked into the store and they gave me these, I wouldn't question it. And that is absolutely wild to me, because how have these not yellowed since 2008? The shade of the midsole is slightly different, but it's not yellow. It's almost grayed. I want this entire sole to look like the mesh on these Jordan 4s, just slightly yellow, just slightly sail. Okay, we're gonna end with a pair of Jordans, and before we do that, I wanna switch gears completely. I wanna show you two different models that are awesome. New pickups for me right here, and both of which are home runs, in my opinion, in their own collective way. This is one of my favorite newest pickups across the board. So we have the newly updated Puma GV Special. The GV stands for Guillermo Vilas, a legendary tennis player, and this model has been out, but not like this. They revamped it and it looks so clean. And I don't use that word often. We're 4 shoes deep in an all-white sneaker video, and I haven't said the word clean once until now. I really reserve that word unless it is true. Just look at the shape. Look at the concave on the midsole and then the Puma detailing in it. The leather is nice. Like, this is genuine premium leather. So if you've been looking to switch it up a little bit, try a new brand, try a new model that you haven't before, you gotta check these out. They're linked for you down in the description, and they fit just a little bit big. They're roomy. Nice job, Puma. Give you your props right here. Okay, next up is something I think is extremely special and honestly inspiring. There's probably not a whole lot of you watching this video that have created your own piece of footwear, created your own shoe, and brought it to people, brought it to a market. And I gotta say, man, my guys, Mr. Foamer Simpson and Young Buckets, did their thing with this shoe right here for a bunch of different reasons. So we've got the Uncivilized 2.0 sneaker. This is one of the best feeling sneakers on my feet that I've ever put on. It's really hard to explain, but I threw them on for the first time and I was like, okay, wow, this is different. I feel very low to the ground. I feel like I'm honestly walking on the ground pretty close to barefoot, but add a thin layer of support, add a thin layer of cushion. Like, it feels very comfortable but low. You forget how high off the ground you are when you walk on something like this. There's an air unit, there's polyurethane, there's so much in between your feet and the ground when you're walking in a pair of Jordan 4s. Additionally, it has a nice wide fit. Jordan 4s and a lot of other shoes, you know, they carve into your pinky toe. They make things narrow for your toes. Not these guys right here. The shape is specifically designed for your foot to move freely, and I really like that. The mesh on the upper allows it to bend easily, and people forget that plays a huge role in comfort. I just got to give a huge shout out to Mr. Foamer Simpson and Young Buckets. I went ahead, I bought these, by the way. Like, support your friends, support your content creators that you watch every day. If there's someone that you really mess with, you're like, man, I'm just like that guy. You've learned something from their videos, or you've been entertained, support that person. Why not? And the clothing that they do as well, money. Now, let's get into this pair that I think is retroing this year. And I'll tell you what, I dislike this box so much that I dread including it in videos. I don't want to put this in videos just because it's such a pain in the, can't even, like, such a pain, annoying. All right, that's the video. Thank you guys. I just want to see the inside of this box. Like, why, what about it makes it so obnoxious? I'm so glad they got rid of these boxes. And this thing is stupid. Oh my gosh, I really have dogged these. So we've got the Air Jordan 11 Columbia. Wow, I put these things through the ringer. These are kind of beat up. Look at that patent leather right there. Those have seen better days. So I apparently have worn these a lot more than I thought I had. And I thought that maybe this patent leather would start yellowing by now, but these things could definitely use a cleanup. There's some aura around an all-white Air Jordan 11. When these retro, it's gonna be a big deal. And I think the shape was a little bit off with this pair, so I am excited to see what they do as far as this newer release goes. As you can see, the Jumpman there is done in a what? That's what I get for throwing the box. Legend blue, how dare I? Right, I forgot. They tried to change this release. These are Columbia 11s, but they tried to change it to Legend blue when they released. It's just like the military 4s, right? That's a military blue, but they're calling them industrial blue. I don't like it when there's that confusion. My guess is there's a bunch of clothing that's already out before the Jordan 4 military blue released, and that's industrial blue, and that's meant to go with those 4s. So for SEO reasons, that's probably why they're going with industrial blue. But anyway, a patent leather white sneaker is certainly polarizing. These are the most eye-catching white shoe on this list. Do me a favor before you get out of here. Let me know what all-white sneaker you have still in the stash. It could be an older pair, it could be something newer. Make sure you subscribe before you get out of here and hit that thumbs up. You know the deal. I appreciate you guys. I'll catch you next time. Peace.